Khan, Shalom. All praise and glory go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakutash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Kabar, Apostle Rakar, Apostle Ramlab, and a Shalom to all the sincere Achim that are pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Before I continue, I want to say that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the children of Israel that the Bible speaks about, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the chosen people of the Heavenly Father, and the people that live in the land of Israel today that call themselves Israelis. They go back to the Khazarians, which go back to the biblical Amalekites, which is the chief head tribe of the nation of Esau, Edom. And the people that call themselves white, European, Caucasian, Australian, or American, they all go back to the nation of Esau, Edom. These videos are made to wake up our people, to lead them back to the Heavenly Father, because judgment is being passed upon the planet Earth. And today I'm going to make a video that's quite a little different of what I normally do, you know. I'm basically going to talk about this man that existed in the past, which is from the tribe of Naphtali, you know, and his name was Galvarino, all right? And he's from the mapuches, right? The mapuche or the, how they say that, from the tribe of Naphtali, you know, and that's in the region of Chile, you could say, okay. And this man basically he inspired the 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 character of Wolverine, okay, and this is the backstory behind it, you know. So I'm gonna go into that a little bit, and yeah, let me start off with how do you say, let me start off with Genesis 49, all right. Gone. So this is let me see. I didn't really prepare this, so bear with me, you know. Gone. So it says Genesis 49 and 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly birds. All right. Naphtali is also a powerful tribe, of course, but all the tribes have their specialty, man. You know, they have their specialty. They're you don't really hear a lot about Naphtali, but it's still a tribe of the nation of Israel, right? And they are of our people, man. You know, and when you read about actually how they looked, you know, because I there's a man that came to the camp once that he's also from the tribe of Naphtali, and he explained to me that he knows that the how they say that the so-called Mapuche were very dark skinned, man. They were very dark skinned. They look like southern tribes, but because of this what's being taught all the time is that the light-skinned tribes, the light-skinned Native Americans, those are the northern tribe, and the dark-skinned ones are the southern tribe. But that's not always the case, because you also have Israelites that are northern tribes that are dark-skinned, man. You know, that never really mixed or nothing like that with Esau. You know, so that's something that they push, but that's not the case. So he told me that when they describe the Mapuche chief, he was very dark skinned, man, very dark skinned. So let me see. Let me go to so okay, bear with me. See if we can find it. Before this, he was known as Galvarino. But let me read this first, okay? Let's start with that. It says Galvarino, the Mapuche warrior with knives for hands. Okay? For as long as there have been wars, there have been warriors who have found a second life on the battlefield. Bloodied, maimed, shot, cut open, stabbed, they are the ones who should have perished, but who nevertheless managed to stay alive and keep fighting. Then there's Galvarino, a warrior who not only overcame a brutal injury, but who actually used it to transform himself into something straight out of your worst nightmare. Okay? 500 years ago, in what were the early years of South America's protracted Arauco War, an army of Spanish conquistadors routed several thousand Mapuche Indians in the Battle of Lagunitas in south-central Chile, near the Biobío River. The Spanish captured 150 Mapuche prisoners, among them a young chieftain named Galvarino, and marched them back to the Spanish encampment. After a swift and no doubt impartial trial, Governor Garcia Hurtado de Mendoza, the Spanish leader, ordered troops to sever the right hand and nose of each warrior and to cut off both hands of leaders like Galvarino. The gruesome act would be a message to the Mapuche: submit or else. So this, what you see right here, this is the gruesome side of Esau, where he is basically maiming people and killing and stuff like that. These are the things that we will do to Esau as well. All right, because in the scriptures it says, "Whatever they did unto us, do unto them double." Man, you understand? So you did it with the hands. Maybe we do the feet too with you. You understand? These are things that, look, anyone that wants mercy for Esau needs to be put to death with him. All right? No one that's on the side of Esau, right, should be allowed to live, man. Because that's dangerous. People like that will give you up because they believe that Esau is the master, and they'll give you up to get killed, man. So that's the danger of it. Okay, Khan. So over here, according to Mapuche legend, after Galvarino's left hand was hacked off, he bravely offered up his right and watched the hatchet fall without flinching. He then asked his torturers to deliver the killing blow, a request that they declined. Galvarino and the dozens of other mutilated warriors were then freed in order to tell the Mapuche general Copolican to surrender and prevent further bloodshed. Galvarino did no such thing. Instead, he urged Copolican and his people to continue to fight against the Spanish intruders, as described by Pedro Mariño, De Lobero in Chronicle of the Kingdom of Chile. Galvarino went before the Mapuche, handless, arms raised in the air, and told them that what had been done to him, the Spanish would do to everyone else if they gave up. My brethren, why have you stopped fighting these Christians? The damage they have done since they entered our realm and what they have done to me is what they will continue to do if we are not diligent in destroying these injurious people. Such words, Lobera noted, are often more effective to incite war than the hands of Hercules and the industry of the Caesars, the Kaisers. Copolican declared that the Mapuche would strike back against the Spaniards, and he named Galvarino as one of his commanders. But what good would a handless fighter be against the enemy? Very little, as Galvarino knew well. What he did next made him a legend. Before the night offensive, he fastened knives to both of his wrists. There's no record of how big the knives were or how sharp, though we'd all no doubt like to imagine long, gleaming blades sprouting from his stumps. Historian Leslie Ray has referred to them as lances and notes quite practically that the Mapuche must have had very effective cauterization techniques to even allow Galvarino to attempt such a feat. On November 30th, 1557, less than a month after his capture, Galvarino was on the front line of what became known as the Battle of Milarapue. The plan was to ambush the Spanish encampment and overwhelm Mendoza before he could turn his artillery and horses on the warriors. But the Mapuche sprang their trap too quickly, and despite initial success at Stimieng's Mendoza's cavalry, the commander managed to hit the native attackers with cannon fire, opening up a seam for his horsemen to ride through and sow chaos. In all, 3,000 Mapuche were killed, compared to only minor injuries and scores of dead horses on the Spanish side. There were also several hundred Mapuches captured, Galvarino among them. There's little evidence relating Galvarino's performance during the battle. Geronimo de Vivar, a Spanish soldier who later wrote an account of the Arauco Wars titled Crónica, wrote that Galvarino motioned his warriors forward with his bladed arms, yelling, "Nobody is allowed to flee, but to die, because you die defending your mother country." This, like so many other details about Galvarino, was no doubt given an extra flourish. Vivar also noted that Galvarino went up against Mendoza's squadron and managed to cut down the general's second in command. After the battle, there would be no third chance for Galvarino. He and his men were sentenced to hang. Alonso de Erquilla, a Spanish aide who would later write the epic poem La Araucana, claimed that he tried to intervene on Galvarino's behalf, entreating him to join with the Spanish, to which Galvarino reportedly replied, "I would rather die than live like you, and I'm only sorry that my death will keep me from tearing you to pieces with my teeth." Some claim Mendoza threw Galvarino to the dogs, while others say he was hanged. Still others believe Galvarino killed himself first to rob his captors of the pleasure. The Arauco War would continue for nearly 300 years, with the Mapuche continuously resisting colonization by the Spanish. The story of Galvarino was a rallying cry for the Mapuche. Galvarino's story has served perhaps more than any other to perpetuate the Mapuche's reputation for courage and tenacity. Ray writes, in Language of the Land, the Mapuche in Argentina and Chile. In 1825, Chile declared independence from Spain, although resistance against the state continues. You see, so that's the story of Galvarino. Like that, then you see what I mean with Galvarin. You see that? So he was inspired. This was his name, Galvarin, right? Galvarino, from Galvarin to Galvarino, and then they turn it into Wolverine. You see? Yeah. Podrán quitarte todo, pero nunca tu venganza. So they can take away everything from you, but they can't take away your vengeance. And that's what the Israelites are going to get, man. Vengeance upon their enemies, man. See them driven before them and hear the lamentation of their woman, all right? As Conan the Barbarian would say. You see? Crush our enemies, man. That's the first thing on my mind. Yahweh Bashem Yashah willing. Yahweh Tazah. You know, the Most High is going to give us the power to take down our enemies, man. You know? And all these things that they've done, they're going to pay for that, man. You know? God. But that's just a short video I wanted to make. With that, I'm going to say all praise and glory go to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yashai. And,